At the buzzer, the Grizzlies beat the Pelicans 115 to 113. John Morant had 34. So we always talk about, Ryan, a break in the schedule, right? When do you play a
Yep.
team? Kings haven't played Memphis yet, right? It's just the
Great
luck of the
point.
draw. That's just the way it goes sometimes. They've already played the Warriors 3 times. They haven't played the Grizzlies yet.
Yeah, just what you said, the luck of the draw. And right around when the Grizzlies roll into Sacramento, the Kings are going to be getting Ja with some get some time under them, and a big win tonight, as you said, game winner. So that's the way it breaks.
All right, we got Boston and Golden State starting in a couple of minutes. No Kristaps Porzingis for the Celtics tonight. Don't know about tomorrow, but the Celts in town tomorrow to take on the Kings. That is going to be a nice barometer type of a game for Sacramento.
It really is. It's one of those games where you're going to see if the Kings' net rating really is that big of an outlier for their standing right now. But, the Kings seem to play up to their opponents. I know Boston, like you said, will be on a back-to-back, but they are a professional and as well-ran team as you can imagine. So they'll be ready to go, Grant.
All right, we got some new merch available for you on my website, ifyoudon'tlikethat.com. All right, you can go to grantnapier.com as well. But if you don't like that.com, click on shop and it will take you right to the link for the new store. Everything's streamlined. It's very easy. You order what you want. We also have some other items that are still coming out that are on back order, but those are the initial items. And Ryan, here's the deal. If there's something that somebody wants, give us some ideas and we can do it for you.
Yeah, much different from last year, much more openness with products. So if there's something you'd like to see, we can probably get that out and upload it on the website. I know we have some new stuff planned to roll out tomorrow night as well, t-shirt wise. So it's a good time to keep checking in with that website right up until Christmas.
Yeah, if you don't like that.com. Rhino, congratulations to your Seahawks last night. What a thrilling victory that was.
Grant, as we were saying before we came on, the Seahawks are good for one of those Monday night games every single year. And, one of those games we'll look back on this season up there with the Lions game early on. But Drew Lock last night, the story of the game, the interview after the game, incredible story. Very happy for him.
Haunted Horse, he wants a shirt that says Ryan is a closet 49ers fan. Well, Haunted Horse, you know what? We'll have to put a price tag on that. You never know, right? You never know.
Ryan can want shirts all he wants. Doesn't mean Ryan's going to wear shirts that he wants.
Celtics game is where we will see where the Kings are this year. Yes and no. It is a back-to-back for the Celtics. So you cannot discount that, okay? It gives you an idea, but you can't discount that, all right? Grant, do you like these quarterback prospects enough to where you would be okay for the Giants to possibly trade to improve the draft position? Depends what I would have to trade, all right? I'm not in love with them, so it would depend. And I don't evaluate the college quarterbacks like Sean Salisbury or some others. So I'll ask him next time he comes on, all right? Haunted Horse says there's always a price. It's a good point right there,
Well played. It's true.
It's going to have to be a lot, though, I think.
It would probably be a lot, considering that I got my Seattle stuff. So, Grant, really quick, just to piggyback on the Giants question, as a Giants fan and what you know about the organization, what kind of shot do you think Tommy Cutlets is going to get next season?
None. He's not a starting.
Okay.
No, he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL. So none. Yeah, no, he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's been a nice folk hero. He's been a good story, but he's not a starting quarterback.
Late season storyline because they're out of it pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Again, go to ifyoudon'tlikethat.com, click on shop. It will take you right to the link, and you can look at the new merch that is available to you. And again, if you have any ideas, let us know. There's also some new items that will be popping up probably tomorrow. So again, ifyoudon'tlikethat.com. NBA, again, John Morant is back, and he's back with a force. 34 points, 8 assists. And Memphis beats the Pelicans 115 to 113. Morant at the horn. How about that? Game winner for John Morant.
Couldn't have wrote it any better if you're Ja and the Grizzlies, considering how they've played up until this point this season. but it's one game. Got to keep it in perspective.
All right, what about the hat? He wants to know if it's embroidered.
That one is not. That is a silk print, but we do have embroidered coming out.
All right, so the embroidereds are coming up. They're on back order, correct?
Yes, they
So
are.
the embroidered hats are going to be available. I thought so. Just making sure. All right. All right, Jay, good to hear from you. Even though the 49ers offense is mostly unstoppable, the defense seemed to have trouble against the run. Does that concern you? No, because they had a couple of guys that were out defensively. So I'm not that concerned about them against the run. I don't think they're like the best in the league, but again, they had some players on the defensive end that were out. So I think that should be good come January, assuming there are no more injuries.
Yeah, I'm with you, Grant. The depth on that team, even with injuries, is head and shoulders above many other teams in the NFL. And huge test for them coming up with Baltimore Ravens at home.
Yeah, no question about that. That is going to be a possible Super Bowl preview. All right. Loved it. All right. Here we go. Love Jesse. Grant, finally at Bennett's with the wife, traveled over 2,600 miles to be here, and it is amazing. Jesse, I mean, Are you kidding me? How about that? Now that's dedication right there. Good job right there. Traveling 2,600 miles to go to Bennett's. Love that. Absolutely. And now we got saying you have to go to Bennett soon. Yes, you do have to go to Bennett soon because it is awesome. And they have 3 locations to choose from. That gets me right into it. Let's not waste any time. Bennett's West Side Grill is their newest location. It is in Rockland at the Blue Oaks Town Center. You can go to Sacramento, Howe and Fair Oaks, Roseville, Eureka Road, Lead Hill Road. Go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com, make a reservation, check out the menu. Don't forget about the weekend brunch, the weekend prime rib. Their weekend prime rib is great. I'm just telling you, you're going to love it. 60 types of wine available by the glass. Don't forget about their happy hour specials during the week on apps and drinks. It's great. Bennett'sRestaurants.com, folks. Bennett'sRestaurants.com. And we appreciate the love. And I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you, Brian, and who's a huge Kings fan, and his staff, they appreciate the love as well. Really appreciate that. That's dedication. 2,600 miles, and they're at Bennett's, and they're loving it. That is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's one you pass along to Brian immediately.
Oh, yeah, I will for sure. All right. Again, don't forget about the new merch that is available to you. And all you got to do is go to ifyoudon'tlikethat.com and click on shop, and that will take you right to the link. Ifyoudon'tlikethat.com. All right. So tomorrow, pregame show with Ryan, the halftime show, Jerry Reynolds, postgame show as we break it down, the Kings and the Celts. The Kings tonight get the luxury of watching Boston on TV take on the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, a little bit of popcorn, a little bit of treatment on your couch. Watch the opponent. I like it.
All right, here we go. Grant, just checked out your online store, and it brings a tear to my eye that you were showing love to the community. Well, you know.
The 5X community. It's the big boys. They're coming back.
The big boys.
Remember last year?
Showing love to the 5X community, you know, because we had some we didn't have triple XLs last year, or did we? I can't remember.
We had
we didn't have 4 or 5, you know.
Did not have 4 or 5.
Yeah. All right.
Triple is a big Napier logo. I can only imagine what 5's going to look like.
Oh boy. Could be a bedspread. You know? Yeah, we got to show love for the 5X community. So yeah, we're happy. We got to take care of everyone, you know. Time to get that coffee mug. Coffee mug's available. Just go check it out. Coffee mug is available for you on the store. If you don't like that.com, just click on shop. We'll take you right there. So appreciate it. Checking out the new merch. And don't forget, we still have some new items that are going to be popping up in the next couple of days. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to get to this. This link is not working for me. Do we need a certain browser?
No, you shouldn't. That link should be completely good unless you have some type of extended blocker on your browser. We've had no issues here, and that's the first I've heard of it. Grant?
I'm on the laptop right now, and I just clicked on, and it goes right to the new team store. So try it again. We love 5X. Well, you know, we're there. We go, Haunted Horse wants to know, Albert, what browser are you using? Haunted Horse, he's the best. Chris will help you out
Resident
on that.
IT.
If he
Yeah.
can't help you out, then you're out of luck. Okay. If he can't figure it out, then, it's not possible to get it done. All right.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
be careful. He is a 49ers fan, Albert.
I know.
So.
Yeah. Can't wait for Boston and Sacramento, and always the best pregame, you guys. Thank you. Well, we love bringing you the content, pregame with Ryan, halftime with Jerry, and the postgame show. Absolutely. All right, now here we go. Peter wants to know, does it piss you off? You go to a store and everything is locked up. I've never had that problem before, but that's not the case with our store, is it? I mean, no.
Shouldn't be with our store.
No.
But yeah, that sucks. If
Yeah.
you travel to go to a store and they're locked, closed. It's what the internet was made for. Check times.
I guess, appreciate the love, everyone. And again, some people still asking, again, that website is ifyoudon'tlikethat.com. You can go to grantnapier.com as well, but just click on shop and then the link will be right there for you to click on. All right. It's that.
You know what it is, Nate?
What's that,
you know
buddy?
what it is. You know what it is.
What's that?
You're breaking the internet. That's why the website's locked up. Forget Taylor and Travis. It's the Napes merchandise that's doing it.
There we go, man. Absolutely. Let's see. We're getting some others. Was on Safari and didn't work, but switched to Google Chrome and it worked. And then this gentleman says it worked for me on Safari. I don't know. I'm having no problems with it, So just keep trying. And again, Haunted Horse will help you out if he can, if you tell him what type of browser you're on. And then maybe he says they have spam where I live. It's all locked up. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe you should move, they have spam locked up where I live. Where do you live? I would love to know where you live.
Definitely not Hawaii. Spam is not locked up in Hawaii.
All right. Haunted Horse. That is actually possible. The traffic might stall the website. Just refresh it, and it should finally work. There you go. There you go. There it goes. All right. So again, just refresh the website. All right. Lodi, California is where he's got the spam. All right. All right.
All right.
Peter goes, Walmart, Target, an employee has to open the glass for you to buy something. Welcome to America.
Yeah, that's annoying, Peter.
Welcome to America. Travel around the world. You can go in the store. You can buy anything you want, and you don't have to worry about whether it's locked up, and you don't have to worry about shoplifting, and, it's kind of nice. So in the United States of America, though, no, it's okay. Just go steal what you want if it's under a certain price. Oh, yeah, and if you're, a consumer and you want to buy all of our products, you got to ring the bell. You got to have someone come over. You got to unlock the case. It's unbelievable to me. There's my mini rant for the day.
Hey, Buster Posey agrees with you. He says it played a role in courting Ohtani to the Giants.
I can't say I would disagree with that. Yeah.
And anybody that wants to make an argument that the players live in the suburbs, sure, but they still spend a lot of time in the city.
Yeah. Haunted Horse, it's called law and order, my friend. He said because they punish people in other parts of the world. Very simple. You break the law, you pay a penalty. I think it's a pretty easy concept, right? We live in a society where we have laws and we are to abide by the laws. If you're driving 75 miles an hour on the highway and you get pulled over, you get a speeding ticket. Why? You broke the law. Pretty simple, correct? If you walk into a store and you shoplift and you get caught, you should be arrested. But, don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Right. I know. I don't want to get you involved in that. Love your show, Grant and Ryan. Are the Niners beating the Ravens? I think they are. I think they're the best team in football. I like the way they match up. And so, yes, I do think. Ryan, what do you think of that game?
Yeah, I think the Niners do beat the Ravens. The Ravens' schedule down the stretch is really difficult. One of the hardest in the NFL. I think if this game is played later in the playoffs, probably a little bit closer, but it's a long travel for the Ravens as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's going to be a heck of a game, but I like the Niners. The Niners have risen every test this year. When they've played a big team, they've mauled them. So I think they'll do the same here against the Baltimore Ravens. And I think Baltimore's good. Their record says they're good. I've watched a couple of their games where they've gotten very fortunate at the end. The Rams
Yeah.
game was won in overtime. Um, they're a good team, though. They're a good team. I think the Niners linebackers in particular have what it takes to contain Lamar Jackson. I think the pass rush of Bosa and Chase Young will be effective. I like the matchups in this game from San Francisco's perspective. Baltimore's number one back Mitchell is out for the year, suffered last week in ACL. I like them. I think they're good.
Yeah, it's a great point you bring up. I think the Niners, especially if they can get that rush up the field and make Lamar make a decision a little bit quicker, their linebackers are quick enough to recover. So I think that's a great point by you.
All right, I'm not watching the game, but Drought 16 years said Jason Tatum just sprained his ankle. So anybody else watching that game? Anita says, Grant, I'm so embarrassed by the Cowboys, just can't get out of their own way. SF gets it done in big games, like you said. Yes, they do. Again, I'm not watching the game, so if anybody can confirm Tatum, and does it look bad or does it look like he just tweaked it? So he said went hobbling into the locker room. So, again, it's part of the breaks. All right, you play who's in front of you, and it's not necessarily who you play; it's when you play them. Just look at Memphis tonight. I mean, there's no way New Orleans loses that game if Morant's not back from his suspension.
Great point. And the Kings got lucky in this way last year. I mean, me personally, I want to see the Kings play the Celtics at their best. I want to see that matchup of Tatum and then also Keegan Murray. But hopefully he's okay for the long run for that team.
Yeah, but Kings aren't going to be disappointed if he's not playing tomorrow.
Of course not.
That's for sure.
It's a huge break. And Porzingis sitting out tonight already. So the Celtics, because they're playing tonight, did not release their injuries for tomorrow night yet.
Right. And again, that game is just underway. Boston and Golden State, and the Celtics have the early lead. So again, we'll keep an eye on that. No word, obviously, on that. Portland is playing Phoenix as well, that game in Portland. Hey, we appreciate you being with us. If you're just joining us, don't forget to check out the new merch available for you. If you don't like that.com, go to shop and then click on the link. Some new items are coming out too in the next 24 hours, so keep your eye open for that. We're going to be adding some new stuff as we go along, and obviously we will let you know, okay, when new merch is available. So just keep it here. On our social media accounts at Grant Napier Show, at Ryan and Sackdown on X, and we have got you covered. All right, so we've got the Kings tomorrow. We got 3 weeks left in the NFL season. We've got the holidays upon us. This is a busy time of the year. It's a fun time of the year. And Sacramento tomorrow at home to take on the Celtics. And thank you, Hornet Horse. Please subscribe. Thumbs up the show. Yes, every person helps the analytics. We do appreciate that. Analytics is important. So if you want to give us a holiday gift, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that thumbs up, give us the like, and we would really appreciate that. Thank you, Hornet Horse, for your help right there. Again, NBA tonight, Memphis beat New Orleans 115-113. Milwaukee beat the Spurs 132-119. Celtics and Golden State, a couple of minutes into the opening quarter, as is Phoenix and Portland. And we have been told that Jason Tatum went off to the locker room with an apparent ankle injury. All right, do the Kings get to 50 wins this season? They're going to be right around there. I think in order to get 50, though, they're going to have to be more consistent. And so I'm going to say they'll fall just short of 50. That would be my guess. All right, I still think just shy of 50.
Yeah, they've let go of a few that would have gone towards that total or should have, but I think that they are right at that number at the beginning of the season. I thought 50 was it. I think they grinded out. They've been through the worst health-wise. And what do you think 50 gets you in this Western Conference, Grant, seed-wise?
I think it gets you top four. I think it will get you third or fourth. I think things will kind of slow down a little bit. I think you'll also see injuries that will affect some teams, along the way. So If I can project right now, I think Minnesota will be a 50-plus win team. Mm-hmm. I still think Denver, once they get everyone back, will be a 50-win team, but that might be it. And then I think 50, if you win 50, I think you're a 2 or 3 seed.
Yeah, I think it was 63 in the weird year last year for Denver that got them to the one, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, you'll take a 4 seed if you're the Kings 2 years in a row hosting a home series. Let's go.
Yeah. Jason wants to know, after the game last night, you did some reminiscing when the Keys uh, about moving. Did the Maloofs have anything to do with Carmichael Dave being fired from 1140? Absolutely nothing to do with Carmichael Dave being fired from 1140 when that was back, whenever he did the Playing to Win tour. No, he had no part in it. The Maloofs had nothing to do with that. Nothing.
How much control did you have over your co-hosts in that
What do you
sense?
mean by
Because
that?
you were the
What do you mean
name.
by control?
Well, control about who you bring in and who stays on. You were with Mike Lamb
Oh,
for a really long
100%.
time. You guys had a
100%. 100%. I endorsed Mike Lamb, and I loved Mike Lamb, and Mike left on. I had nothing to do with Mike's departure. Mike was let go once again over the quote unquote budget cuts, and I was extremely upset from it. Mike and I, to this day, are very good friends, and I love doing the show with him. I had the utmost respect for Mike, but I had nothing to do with that. Now, I would say this, and I don't care whether people believe me or not. I saved Doug Christie's job twice on the radio, twice, 2 different occasions. I saved his job, and I said, don't do it. And I said, this will be a big mistake. Do not do it. And they did it twice. So I did have say. I should have say. I was there for 26 years,
right,
and I provided ratings and income, or I should say revenue, for the station. So they always talked to me, always, and
yeah,
I always gave them input onto my show and my co-host. I actually preferred doing the show by myself for a good part of the time, but they wanted to get a co-host. I said, fine, but I have to approve of the co-host.
Yeah, as you should. I mean, you got to be able to mesh well, obviously, but you guys fit really well together in your time with Mike. That was
Mike was
enjoyable radio.
Great. I love Mike. Really enjoyed it. Mike was, I still, again, Mike lives in Portland now, and I still converse with him from time to time. Saw him in Florida, I want to say 3 years ago. He came down to Florida, and we hung out in Fort Lauderdale, and we had a great time. Love Mike.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mike. All right. Again, we really appreciate everyone being with us. If you were just joining us, we have new merch available. Just go to ifyoudon'tlikethat.com, click on shop, and it will take you right to the link. And we have some new items coming out as well tomorrow and in the following days. So we'll update you on all of that. Okay.
And make sure.
Go ahead.
Make sure also you click on some of the different items when you're in the shop, because they might have some debut colors in that item. So you got to go through each one, guys.
I like that.
There's
Good
some
tip
cool
right
stuff
there.
on there. Yep.
I enjoy you having the Kings opposing teams TV announcer on your radio show. I love that too. I really did. I love that. I got to tell you, of all the years that I did the show, my 2 favorite guests from the NBA to have on that were announcers, Mike Breen and Chick Hearn. And Chick was unbelievable when I had him on the radio. Unbelievable. And I could not believe how hospitable he was, how generous he was with his time. And again, it's funny. Chick used to wear a ton of makeup, and he would come over and go, hey, do you have a stick mic? If I put my headset on, it's going to get makeup on the ears, and I don't want to mess up your headset. And so we would very often try to get him a stick mic so that, wouldn't, because he did wear a lot of makeup. But I love Chick. I told you the story the last time I interviewed him, right? I mean, he could not have been more gracious. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to build me up. And he built me up in front of the Sacramento radio audience the last time I had him on. I mean, that's the legendary Chick Hearn.
Chick
saying
Hearn.
those things about me. And I had chills listening to him. And I was looking at him and I'm going, what a class act this man is. what a class act. He's just all class. He was unbelievable. He was unbelievable.
It
Amazing.
seems like some of the best to have ever done it really made themselves available to those coming up or those also in the business that might not quite be at their level, right? They always
Yep.
wanted to make the business of what you guys did better.
No question. Always. Always. It's a good point. Always. 100%. So, yeah, I used to love talking to all the announcers, and it was I liked it. That's all I can say. Same with the NFL. I love talking to the NFL announcers, both local and national. I loved having Charles Davis on, Ian Eagle
Yeah.
on. I loved having Kevin Harlan on. I can go on and on. We had them all on. So and Anita, this is where Anita called into the show. She said, "I love when you guys did on the radio during the COVID lockdown when no sports were being played. The interviews were priceless, just such as the one you did with Drew Pearson and so many others." Yeah, that was probably my favorite time of all the years that I did in radio, Anita. And your call was unbelievable too during that time. I'll never forget it. But those were priceless interviews. And we had people on we would have never had on before. It was great. So I appreciate you saying that, Anita. It was one of my favorite times. And some of the guests that we had on were incredible. Like, we had Marty Brennaman on, the legendary longtime voice of the Cincinnati Reds, talking about, announcing during the Big Red Machine and some other things. And, it was just incredible to pick his brain. And it was a lot of fun. So I appreciate you saying that, Anita. I really appreciate you saying that because it was so much fun. All right. Peter says, I'm buying merchandise and promoting up here in Chico. We appreciate that, Peter. Thank you very much. And nice is right. And if you're just joining us, go to ifyoudon'tlikethat.com and click on shop, and it will take you right to the link, and you can check out the new merch. Hey, really appreciate everyone chiming in here on the chat. Again, the Kings and the Celtics tomorrow. Boston is currently leading 34-27 with 2:19 left in the first. John Morant comes back and scores 34. All right, 34 to beat New Orleans, and he gets it at the buzzer. Grant, your best interview was with your father. I would agree with that. That
what
interview.
Year did you have Bird on?
He was on Father's Day, 2017. And I had him on every year, the Friday before Father's Day. But the last time, maybe it was before 2017. I apologize. The last time I had my dad on the radio, I think, was 2015. I don't know for sure, so don't hold me to the exact date.
Yeah.
But people were blown away at my dad's stories that, he would go to the Polo Grounds, for 25 cents, or go to Madison Square Garden and watch a quadruple doubleheader. And, going to all of the games and seeing all of the legends of that era. He talked about being at the Polo Grounds on December 7th, 1941, as a 15-year-old boy. And then 3 years later, he was in the Pacific Theater in the Navy. The New York Giants were playing the Dodgers that day. And that's a lot of people don't remember, but the Dodgers also were a football team in addition to a baseball team. So the Giants and the Dodgers that Sunday, December 7th, 1941, were playing at the Polo Grounds in New York. And my dad, as a teenager, as a 15-year-old boy, was at the game.
Who was it for your dad that got him to sporting events? Was it your dad that took himself, or what ignited that? Because it obviously bled into your childhood.
Yeah, my dad grew up in Queens, in Forest Hills, and you were surrounded by sports. My grandfather, my dad's dad, he and his wife immigrated from Germany, so they were not in tune with American sports. Now, my dad was born in the U.S., but his love for sports was not anything close to my dad's. He did introduce my dad to sports, but my dad kind of got into sports on his own, and his love for all of the sports including
Yeah.
tennis and golf and everything else. So yeah, my dad was a crazy sports fan growing up, and he reminisced. And every year he was on the radio, he told some of the most amazing stories. Okay, both with me as a young boy at the games. You know, he tells the story of me, you know, being told to wear 2 pairs of socks because it was cold and it was a December game. And, you know, before we left, you have 2 pairs of socks on. Yes, yes, yes. And I get to the game and I didn't. And I was complaining. I think I was 4 years old. And my dad actually took his socks off and gave them to me and sat and watched the second half in the freezing cold with no socks on.
That's
So,
fatherly love right there.
yeah. You
At
know,
its
so,
best.
yeah. I think he said he gave me my socks and said, "All right, here are my socks. Now shut up and watch the game."
Quit bugging me, kid. It's third
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. But my dad told, you know, great stories of that era, watching all the famous Yankees and that, you know, growing up. He started going to the games in the 30s. So you know, in the era in the 30s and the 40s. And then my dad was at the, again, maybe the most famous game ever played with Amici running it in overtime to beat the Giants at Yankee Stadium. You know, one of the most famous games in the history of the NFL. He talks about being at Yankee Stadium when Pat Summerall kicked a 50-yard field goal in the driving snowstorm to beat Cleveland. You know, he talks about all those stories, but it's pretty fascinating to hear his recollection and what it was like and the cost of what it was like to go to a game. He told me, well, he said on the radio that when he used to take me and my brother to all the Giants games at Yankee Stadium, he would give us each 75 cents and say, "Here's your money to spend at the game." And that would normally buy us, you know, a hot dog, a soda, and ice cream, or a hot dog, a soda, popcorn, or whatever. But your 75 cents went a long way back then, you know?
Yeah, much further than it goes today.
Yeah.
75 cents might get you a little cup of ranch.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
It might even that might even be the admission in some places to use the bathroom, you know? Like,
Yeah, maybe Steve Ballmer's new building they're putting up in LA. More
oh my
bathrooms than
God.
anybody else.
Again, if you want to check out the new merch, go to ifyoudon'tlikethat.com, go to shop, and you'll be able to check out all the new merch, new items coming out later this week as well. All right. What does Mike say about you getting fired? He says what everybody else says. He said it's disgraceful and an outrage. That's what he said. Couldn't believe it. Ah.
Yep.
Oh,
Some
well.
I'm on a separate note. Some unconfirmed reports. Tatum probable to return tonight for the
Okay.
Celtics.
Well, so a lot will depend on how he feels tomorrow, but that's good news for Boston and maybe not good news for Sacramento. Phoenix is leading Portland 28-17. Boston's up by 10 at the end of one. How about a 40-point first quarter for the Boston Celtics, and most of that without Tatum?
They can do it so many different ways. The trade for Drew Holiday just changed that team. That was exactly what Boston needed.
And you know he'll be on Fox a lot.
Oh, he'll be. That's going to be a different. I don't want to say education, but that's going to be a really fun matchup to watch because he's so crafty. And you know, with a guy like Fox that's that quick, you have to have those veteran crafty moves to kind of slow him down, the things that are marginal in the referee's eyes.
Yeah. All right. Again, don't forget tomorrow, pregame with Ryan, halftime with Jerry Reynolds, postgame show, the Kings and the Celtics. Always good when you can join us here on these various programs. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and that way you'll know whenever we are doing a show. I also want to tell you about New Works Plumbing of Sacramento. If you have any plumbing needs, plumbing concerns, New Works Plumbing's got you covered. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. Just go to that number on your screen or that website, sackserviceplumbing.com. New Works Plumbing, they'll be there. Don't forget 24/7 service. So, you know, if you unfortunately have an emergency in the middle of the night, they're there for you. That's New Works Plumbing at sackserviceplumbing.com. All right. Again, merch available. So check it out. As Ryan said, click on because you might have different colors available and everything else. All right.
Yep. We mixed in a couple of fun colors with some of the sweaters. So check that. It'll be cool.
You know, and as far as the announcers for the Kings, I have no idea. I don't know about their contracts. You know, if you don't like them, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else to say. I have yet to watch a Sacramento Kings telecast since I left. I have not watched any of the announcers. I have not watched any of the shows. Zero. I have not watched 1 second of one Kings telecast since I left. So I can't even comment on the announcers because I've never heard them. I can only go by what people say. I can't even give you input on there because I don't watch it.
Well, here's what I'll say really quick in a nutshell, not to get too big into it, but there's no consistency. And when I say consistency, when you and I turned on when we used to turn on Kings games growing up, Grant and Jerry, it would always be Grant and Jerry unless it's national TV. Now the Kings fans don't know who they're going to get night in and night out. So that plays into it.
Yep. Again, I've always said this, even when people used to call up and complain about me, let the Kings know. You don't tell me. I have nothing to do with it. I mean, I'm okay with you sharing your opinions and your thoughts, but I don't have anything to do with it. I mean, right. Even when I used to work, if I had people criticize me, I would go, well, call up the Kings. There's nothing that's my job. If you don't like my job, then you don't have to watch, you don't have to listen, or you can tell my bosses, So, again, Boston and Golden State tomorrow. I would say if you are a Kings fan, you better be rooting for the Warriors tonight. I mean, you better be rooting for the Celtics tonight. I don't want to be playing the Celtics after they lose a game. So you better be rooting for Boston tonight for two reasons. You want the Warriors to lose, and you don't want to play Boston after a loss.
Yeah, but I want the Warriors to be close. I want those starters for Boston to play some good minutes tonight and have some tired legs coming into G1C tomorrow night.
All right. Again, 42-38, Boston in the second leads. 32-19, Phoenix leads in Portland with 1:15 left. Memphis gets 34 and a game winner for John Morant, his first game of the year. They upset the Pelicans 115-113, and Milwaukee beat San Antonio 132-119. Any final thoughts, sir?
Go check out the merch. We're excited about it and can't reinforce enough. Give us ideas if there's something you want to see, and keep checking back daily because we are uploading new items.
If you don't like that.com, click on shop and it will all be there for you. One final note, I want to tell you that if you are interested in a new home in Calusa, I have got the place for you. This development by Blazona Development, this project is called Sunrise Landing, and it's in Calusa. 6 models to choose from. No Mellorews, no homeowners. Just check out all of the models for you. Sunrise Landing in Calusa. Go to calusasunrise.com and check it out yourself. That's Sunrise Landing in Calusa. All right. Again, tomorrow, pregame with Ryan, halftime with Jerry Reynolds, and postgame show, Kings and the Celts. Ryan, you have a good night, my friend. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Napes.
And to each and every one of you, thank you. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on If You Don't Like That. So long, everybody.